Welcome to You Can Teach Yourself, episode 1. And I'm going to be your guide, Patrick Horn. All right, so let's get right into it. Bow change at the frog. So this is what happens if I do a bow change at the frog and I try to move just my forearm without moving the upper arm. It's gonna, something like this will happen. All right, now that's not good. In order to correct that, there's basically two things you can do for the bow change at the frog. And the first approach is high wrist, low elbow. The second approach is high elbow, low wrist. So when we get to the frog and we've messed up because we've kept our upper arm low or not moved it like this, the high wrist is going to correct the bow angle. Now we're parallel to the bridge. And then the elbow coming forward is going to bring the bow back into the strings. So this is good. The advantage of this is that you keep your elbow low, keeping the shoulder relaxed, and that's good. Especially the what's this one called right here? The deltoid muscle, right at the top here. You're going to keep that relaxed with the low elbow. The disadvantage of this is that now you've got a wrist that's curved like this, and in order to get to the tip, you're going to have to bring the wrist back down again, and that could cause your bow to shake as you go from this position to this position. That's the disadvantage. The other approach, which would be keep the wrist flat and keep the elbow high, has the advantage of you don't bring your upper arm forward like this, so you don't use any of the pec muscles in this way, but you use lots of the deltoid muscles to lift the elbow high. However, that's all right because your arm is going to be very close to you, and so the weight of your arm is much less than if it was sticking way out like this. You know, try lifting your arm to your side like this, and then try lifting your arm to the side with your elbow bent and your hand in front of you. It's not so much weight. The other advantage of the flat is the flat wrist. You don't have to worry about going from here to here. So this is what we're going to try. We're going to try the second approach. You can try the first approach if you like. I've tried it. I prefer the second approach. So this is the exercise for the high elbow, flat wrist. Go to a wall. And the reason why we're going to keep our elbow on the wall is because it prevents the upper arm from moving forward like this. It's going to keep the upper arm back. You see that? And what that prevents is contraction of these muscles right here. Both of those muscles of the pectoralis will contract if you bring your upper arm forward. Like whenever you do a push-up, you're bringing the arm forward and this is going to contract. Anything that brings this arm forward, you're going to contract the muscles in here. What I found is if you contract these muscles in here too much, they can get tight, they can stay tight and affect your tone. This is very much similar to like the back of the neck for vocal cords in Alexander technique. If you tighten those muscles, it's going to affect your voice and your projection. Now, it's a good idea to keep those relaxed, keep the back of your neck long, but it's not enough when you're working with a string instrument. This muscle right here, if it tightens up, or for that matter, any muscle in the hand, if it tightens up, it's going to affect your tone. So in order to have a really full, natural tone, this has to stay relaxed, and this has to stay relaxed. Now, if you do choose the low elbow approach, this will tighten. You can try it on yourself. Bring that arm forward. It's going to tighten up a little bit. But what you have to remember is to release it when you go your down bow with the low elbow. And as long as you release it, you're going to get some rest for this muscle in it, and it's probably not going to tighten up. But what we're going to try to do is keep it relaxed the entire time. All right, so here's the bow change at the frog exercise. You start somewhere in the upper half. Come to the frog, stop, and we're going to make sure our index finger is relaxed and our thumb is relaxed and our shoulder is relaxed. And in order to have good control of the pinky, which is going to control the tip, I like to rock the bow a few times like this. And make sure you're relaxed and then go back down your down bow. We're just going to do that a few times. Index finger, thumb, shoulder, roll. One more time. And then finally, you just do it without all that stuff at the frog, the exercises, and just try a few bow changes. Let's try a new shirt for this, shall we? The other thing you'll notice is I'll drop the elbow slightly before I start my down bow. And that just keeps this whole sort of wave action happening where the elbow sort of leads, and hopefully it smooths out any sort of horizontal bow change movement that might cause a bit of a sound, audible bow change. That slight rounding of everything might help. And also just mainly keep the same bow speed and the same bow pressure. Remember, you're going to lighten up with the hand at the frog, particularly index finger and thumb. You don't want those to stay tight, cause static tension. It'll affect the tone as well. We'll talk about direction of the bow, down bow versus up bow, and keeping the bow parallel basically. But there are some tricks. We'll do that in a different video. Whether you want to bring it this way at the frog and this way at the tip a little bit, or whether you want to, kind of maybe go this way for the down bow and this way for the up bow. We'll talk about that in another video.